Alrighty, so we got this off, and I've replaced all of the components, including my 22 cap capacitor. When I took it off, it turns out that the Leo Jaymz, beautiful on the outside, the cavity was routed a little bit too large for the size of this plate, and the screw tie downs are right on the edge of the wall, and I was wondering why they were so loose when they came out, and that's why. So what I've done is I've stuck a toothpick in there in both holes with some wood glue last night, let that set, and then I used this little bit of a UV epoxy resin to fill in the gap around that, and I'm going to carefully re-drill those holes so that the standard pickguard screws will fit in there. So I've protected the area. I've pre-built this panel, and it's going to be a four-way. And in order for me to make the four-way work, and this is a lipstick style pickup with a cover, the cover is usually grounded to the common. In a four-way, you need to disconnect the ground from the cover and add an extra wire from the cover that actually goes to the ground, because the common or the grounded wire actually goes not to ground, but it ends up going into one of the lugs on the switch, so that you can actually switch them in series. If it was grounded, you could not do that. So I need to take the pick guard off, because I need to get behind there. I took all the screws out last night except for two when I was working on it, and I'm going to loosen the strings and take the neck off and pop it and see what happens. And I want to test it before, and I'll see what's in the pocket. I also prepared my American style string trees last night. I always cut the pip off on the bottom and run the bottom on my belt sander to make it nice and smooth. So they're also ready to install. And stand by. I flip all this over and do some work on the neck. The pick guard, taking the neck off on this somewhat cluttered table. By the time you guys see this, I've only been back from my trip day before yesterday. It was great being out on the road, but you know, it's really great to be back in my lair down here as well. It seems like they've properly drilled the holes in the body so that the screws do not bite in the body. Just about the right size. The plate was just off center of that hole a little bit. And they were nice and tight. Okay. Okay. This has the plastic underneath, that's good. Yes. It's very nice underneath there as well. There's just a tiny little abrasion there. I noticed that the neck popped pretty easily there. We're going to find out if there's any surprises. in a second. Oh, whoa. Not much of a surprise, except for a lot of debris in the neck pocket. Probably, yeah, and it's thick. I think it's wood chips and a lot of buffing compound, which, oh, and there's a metal chip. So that's not too so clean in there. Back of the heel of the neck is very nice. Yeah, that's very nice. That's going to be cleaned out, and we'll see how it goes. They drilled the channel from here for the wire to go in the body all the way through, so you don't have that big cutout on the top when you're doing a see-through, or you know, one that has no pick guard on it. So that's very nice. Okay, the pocket cleaned up very nicely just with the vacuum. I don't think I'm going to need to do any special sanding. There's a tiny little bit of glitter in there. I can probably make that just a little bit smoother. So I just might run a tiny little bit. There was no shim. So I'm impressed that there was no shim and the neck was fairly straight and I could get the action I wanted the way it looked. Except for the buzzing. I really wish I wouldn't have to sacrifice these D'Addario strings. Okay, I'm just going to twist those together. I'm going to take a look. Yeah, the case is connected to the ground. So I'm going to have to run an extra wire. I brought one out, which I think would be long enough to be able to get into the cavity, but that doesn't look like it is long enough. There's a tiny little link right here between the black wire. Yeah, those two right here. Has to be cut. And I'm trying to make sure that I know. Yeah, so this one right here, the one on the inside, is the case. And this one is actually the winding coming out of the bobbin. So the extra wire has to go to this inside one. Alright, let me work on that. Okay, I've got the pickguard back. I've got the extra wire. I made it a green one. Pickguard's reinstalled. I polished underneath. I cleaned the pickguard with, you know, non-ammonia Windex, because you can't put ammonia on plexiglass, and don't ever do that. You'll cloud it up. A couple of the holes for the screws also a little bit oversized. They're all on the edge. For the screws, I had to put a couple of toothpicks in. I did sand out the pocket a little bit smooth to take some of the little rumps out from the compound and the sparkle. So it fit back in very nicely. I also had a problem here. Well, there's a problem. This nut, when I loosened the strings, the string, and I took it out from under the string tree, popped right off the nut. It needs a tiny little touch on the nut there, just to try to keep that string in there. Probably a little bit on the, a tiny bit on the front, a little bit more back angle, a little bit, because otherwise it's good over the first fret. Second fret is a wobbler, and then the fourth fret's a wobbler, and there's wobblers everywhere. And up here, this is definitely too high a fret, this last one. Yeah, it looks like I am going to have to cut this off because there's no way I'm going to be able to do um, a fret job on this neck with the strings on it. So unfortunately these 10 to 46s are going to be cut, and I will replace with 9 to 42s because that's what I'm using now on everything. This is going to be a nice complement to my Fusion Midnight Galaxy Midnight, Galaxy Black they call it. Firefly is making a Tele in Galaxy Black. Alright, I'm going to disconnect the neck and the body. I'm going to finish doing the wiring for the plate, put that back in. I'm going to have to re-drill those holes, and then I will move to my other bench to tape this up and get the neck job going and fix the butterflies. Take them off of there. Now that I have the strings off of this, I can see that the edge of this fret is up just a tiny little bit out of the wood. So we're going to do a little tap on that. But kudos to Leo for using really good tuners. I mean, it's not that hard to get really good tuners. And I'm sure that in China, you know, the availability is easy to get for every one of the manufacturers down there. You know, the posts are nice and solid on this, and there's no slop in them whatsoever. So these are really good quality tuners. So you don't get that on many guitars, on hardly any guitars unless you install them, or you get, you know, a very, very expensive guitar. But and sometimes even then. So the pocket is clean. Just wanted to give you that little update there, and now I'll finish this up and move on till I get some fret work done. Okay, peoples, look at the Jaymz is finished with a new fret job, nice and leveled, new electrics, 4-way position, and yes, I am very pleased with it. You know, for my American friends, if you're looking for a Tele and if they're all like this from Leo Jaymz with these pickups in it, they're kind of like a vintage output in a modern style bridge. Don't pull the knobs off. The tuners are exquisite. I did this yesterday, stretched and tuned and stretched and tuned. Left it on the stand overnight. I picked it up this morning and I just had to run it, and perfect in tune. There wasn't off an iota. So for $159 that I saw them for last, silver sparkle or any of the other colors, there's purple and there's orange and there's all kinds of things. There's about 10 of them, right? The bones on this are very good, all right? Very, very good. You definitely will have to do something about the string trees because the ones that were there were grabbing the strings a lot, and you know, affecting the tuning. It's not the tuners, it's actually those butterflies. That's the one cheapy thing, you know, that they did, was those little butterflies. But everything else is a bone nut. Maple neck is beautiful. The finish on the body is exquisite. It's like glass. I'm telling you, everywhere. It's like glass. Whoever Leo has painting these things and buffing them up and finishing the bodies, they are exquisite workmanship. I mean, the finish on this could rival a custom shop, no problem. No problem at all. It's just that good. So, I'm finished raving about it for now. So I've got my 65 Deluxe without any effects on it, and this is the full output of the bridge. Parallel. Okay, so that's the 3K output. Warms up because of the neck. Now here's the sweet spot for me, is when I put them in series and I get a 12K additive. Boom! Right? Get girth. And the warmthness of this just brings it right up there. Standard neck. That's why I like this neck. It's one of the few lipstick neck pickups I've received on any guitar that I can say I like. I just keep saying that, but it's true. Alright, so let's, and that's nothing. That's just plain, right? And again, 2.5 on the amp, so it's not that loud, amplified. Now if I add the reverb and delay, it gives it a little bit of a open effect. A little bit of like a room echo. I love that position. So that's really great. Solve the buzzing problem. Solve the buzzing problem. The neck, to get what I wanted, had to have it just a little bit of relief. Fully straight, there was buzzing, so I actually had to go to the loosey-goosey side to give it a little bit of underbow to get exactly the proper relief. I cleaned out the neck pocket, I sanded the bottom of it, got all the little prickly things out of there, and put the neck in. There's no shim whatsoever. It's pretty, yeah, nice job. Nice job. No lean back required. Alright, let's try something. See how badly this goes. I'm going to add some boost. approve of Leo Jaymz. You know, I might want to try one of his Les Pauls. I just might do something like that. So here we are, the LJ. It's a beauty. Absolutely no doubt about it. So, thanks for watching the series on this. Appreciate all your support, and catch you in the next one.